Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? It's now March the 12th, Monday, about 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to talk about Ethereum Classic. It's now officially on my radar for one of my top 6 coins to be looking at for the next few days. And I'm going to go over it in high detail. So what we have to remember first of all is that as a trader, day trader, or a swing trader, our job is to hunt for these kinds of setups, right? We can't just idle. We have to think of it like, do you guys know sales models? Okay, like in sales, just as an example, think of it like this. Think of a funnel first of all. Oh, by the way, guys, I created a new steemit account. Yeah, that's right. I created a new steemit account. So be sure to check it out to see the most recent blogs of mine. And you can also see very detailed charts. So think of it as a way to subsidize not subsidize, what's the word? To supplement your learning, right? So what you want to do is follow me on all 3 platforms, YouTube, Twitter, and on Steemit. YouTube, you'll get all the videos there, of course. And on Steemit, you'll get my general bias there with, of course, some charts as well. And on Twitter, I usually like to update throughout the day. So it's impossible to keep everybody up to date on one specific platform. And you guys already know how I feel about Steemit. It's just a very small way for me to earn a little bit of income for the small things that I'm doing, like making these videos, posting charts, etc. Trust me, it's not really a lot of income at all. We're talking like, $5, $6 a post. But hey, it makes me feel good, so why not do it? And make sure you guys also like, subscribe, and share the material as well. If you guys think I'm killing it in the market, because you are killing it as well, definitely consider donating to the cryptocurrency piggy bank, but do not ever feel obligated to, because I'm perfectly cool. But if you ever want to let me know that, hey, you're doing a great job and you want to buy me a drink, definitely consider donating to my dog's cryptocurrency piggy bank there. So let's talk about, first of all, the mentality of a trader, okay? We're going to talk about this funnel concept, okay? We're going to talk about this funnel concept where, there are different kinds of layers, right? There could be, we're just going to draw random colors in here, okay? And the next one could be, right, a little bit of smaller one in here. And this will make entire sense. I promise, guys, it's going to make a lot of sense, okay? So let's just choose that one, a different color. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in sales before or any type of job where you're supposed to be looking for leads, right? So I'm going to explain to you guys some of the concepts. And then we're going to make, the ones on the very bottom, like a very prominent color that you can easily see. We'll make this one like red or something, okay? Red for hot. Think of it like that. So what we want to do, guys, is, well, first of all, think of this, okay? You're a trader and your job is to hunt for these kinds of setups. Now, the green one can represent ones that are very far away, right? Where it's just a few days down the road, or even a few weeks down the road. But the green one could represent the ones that you're keeping your eye on that are very, very distant, but you know it's going to come up. Now, this blue one might represent ones that are closer to being much more on your radar, right? So as it gets closer to your radar, maybe it's, just finishing up some specific patterns that you're waiting for. And then maybe the purple one is actually getting very, very close to or it's now on your radar and it's now almost completing a specific pattern, right? So it's getting closer and closer. And then the red ones, for example, you want to definitely start considering them. It's really high on your radar. You're basically ready to take some trades up, right? And then you have a funnel that comes down just like this, okay? And the ones that are in the funnel in here, these are the ones that you're already in the trade. Now, it's important to consider this basic concept in trading or any sales position, for example, because if you actually consider these, you're going to have a lot of what we call leads, okay? Now, you want to generate as many possible leads as you can throughout the weeks. So as you funnel them through as you filter them or push them through the filter or push them through the pipe, you're going to guarantee that there are many leads and possible trade opportunities coming up, right? So that is how I see trading. I see trading as something where we have to make sure that we're on top of it. We can't just sit idle and we just wait for these opportunities to come up. We have to hunt for them and be very diligent with our process, right? So I've adopted, I don't even know if you guys have ever heard of this kind of system before, but this is the way that I generate my leads, and I try to make sure that people understand this concept, right? It's super important to understand. So I wanted to talk about the characteristics of this with you guys first of all, right? I uploaded this to my Twitter and YouTube as well, or sorry, Twitter and steemit as well. So this is called a falling wedge, which is bullish, and it breaks up upon completion of the pattern. So if you guys ever see a pattern like this, consider it a fairly bullish pattern. If you ever see something like that, this is called a rising wedge, which is bearish, and it breaks down upon completion of the wedge, all right? So these are some just simple patterns to make note of. This one right here likes to be in the fifth wave only, or in the C wave of Elliot wave, and this one here likes to be in a leading first wave diagonal, but it's also seen in a fifth wave. Actually, sorry, both of these are either seen in a fifth wave or a first wave. So this one can also be known as an ending diagonal, and this one here could also be known as like a leading diagonal as well. So this could be a leading first wave diagonal or an ending fifth wave diagonal. This one could be a leading first wave diagonal or an ending fifth wave diagonal as well. So the names can be used interchangeably between the two of them, and I just thought I'd bring that up with you guys. So I spent a little bit of time drawing that for you guys here, all right? So let's talk about the Elliot wave pattern. So if we take a look at Elliot wave, these were actually very easy to play. And I like to talk about just summarizing patterns as well, okay? So if we take a look at it right here, what we easily make note of is that this was the first wave, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Now, a lot of people don't really catch the bottom here, right? They don't really catch the bottom because they wait for it to level off to go into an uptrend because they know that the third wave will definitely be the strongest wave. So what a lot of players and traders like myself do is we wait for the breakout. Once we have bought the breakout, we can then define it. We can define the target, but we cannot define it ahead of time because if we knew where wave 2 was actually going to come down, then we would have bought it, right? So what we like to do is wait for the breakout. And then once that happens, you buy the breakout, you target a simple one-to-one extension for wave 3, right? Where you could take your profit, and you also target your 1618 if you decide to ladder them. So it was that easy to play. Make sense? Awesome. So if you guys actually bought the breakout right here, you would have set your stop loss slightly lower than the $26 region. You would have easily targeted $33 at least, or you could have targeted much higher at the $40 range. So over the, how many days was this, just as an example? This was over about the course of 12 days. You could have made yourself a whopping, 50% of your money there just by holding. So these are just some strategies that I like to review with you guys as well, because there's a lot of different strategies to go over, right? And I think that if we reiterate things enough times, then it's actually going to stick to you guys as well. And that's the goal, to make sure that it eventually sticks to you guys and you guys understand it on a very detailed level. Because the ultimate goal is to obviously make you guys very self-sufficient baby whales. I mean, imagine if you guys were like a whole pod of baby whales and you guys were very self-sufficient and I actually didn't even need to, do tea anymore. And you guys are at the point where I can just follow your TA, or I don't have to do as much anymore. That'd be freaking awesome one day. So if we look at our ABC, it's pretty evident that this would be ABC, right guys? Take a look. Something like that right in here. Now if we look at how this scenario is playing out right here, we can easily see as well that this is possibly a 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of this is possibly a fifth wave, something like that. What these like to do often, okay, I'm going to explain it to you guys, is that this one here, you find 5 waves in here, and like I mentioned, you find in the fifth wave often, and then this one right here, we end up getting the fifth wave. Does that make sense? Okay, where we get 1 in here, we get 4 waves in here somewhere, and then this whole structure right here in particular is the one making the ending fifth wave diagonal. And let me break it down for you guys in high detail here, right? Or we could have even seen it like this perhaps as well, okay? where this is now 1, 2, this is now 3, 4, and a 5th wave. Now let's see if this would actually make sense if we took our Elliot wave retracement, and yeah, it actually makes 100% sense, where the wave 3 hit the 1-to-1 extension right down over there. So let's just keep it to this count for simplicity's sake, alright? So now we have our 5 waves coming in here, and if you guys notice, within the 5th wave itself right here, it looks like it's actually making an ending 5th wave diagonal, right? So this now makes 1, 2, 3, around 4 there, and there's a 5th possible touch coming up very soon. Now this should be one of those coins that should be added to your radar list, right? So to your list of coins that you definitely want to be looking at perhaps in a few days, maybe not quite yet, it's up to you guys, right? But it's definitely going to be one of those coins that I'll heavily be interested in probably very soon. I've only bought like a tiny bit, to be quite honest, but I plan to accumulate maybe up to 500 coins or maybe even more than that. We're just gonna have to see how it plays out here. So does this make sense, guys? I really need you guys to understand why this is a possible play coming up based on this alone, okay? Based on the pattern alone, what we can see is it is a very bullish pattern coming up, right? Absolutely a bullish pattern coming up sometime soon. Now, let's say we actually looked at it from the daily chart as well. If we looked at it from the daily chart, what we can see is the RSI actually starting to slowly level off, right? The RSI is slowly starting to level off. If you look on February the 6th, this is where the support RSI was. So we ask ourselves, can the RSI support actually end up holding here again? And the answer is most likely it can hold here. I think there's a strong chance we're already starting to see it kind of level off here, right? Just kind of like that. And will it be able to parabolically end up moving upwards? Maybe. We're just gonna have to give it some time. If we look at the daily candles right here, we see this was a decent hammer, right? Fairly decent hammer. Let's go look at the 12-hour chart. We see that a crossover is very likely to happen sometime soon. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but probably in the span of 2-3 days, I'm guessing. We haven't even crossed over to a positive side on the histogram since February 21st. So this histogram looks like it's definitely went the crossover. Look at the time when it was actually around this low, okay? When it was around this low last time, it went up quite nicely. So we have to give it a little bit of room. We have to make sure that we're extremely patient with this coin. I do believe that there's a really good chance for it to uptrend. Where could it possibly go to? Well, we're going to take our Fibonacci extension, all right? Take our Fibonacci extension. Let's go to like a 4-hour chart so you guys can see in much more detail. Make sure that we draw our pattern in here like that. You guys should be going to your charts as well and definitely drawing in this little wedge pattern, okay? That upon the breakout, what I would recommend to people, I'm no financial advisor, keep in mind, guys, that this is not a guaranteed play. I need you guys to really understand that this is not a guaranteed play. For all we know, it can completely break down and just correct heavily with Bitcoin. So please understand that I'm only trying to point out scenarios where there are possible setups, right? Not guaranteed setups, guys. Please remember that. Remember that filter, that funnel system that I was talking about. We try to push possible leads into there, and we try to hammer out as, a lot of TAs, good risk to reward setups, and go from there. So for all we know, this could fail. So don't think that it's 100% chance guarantee, okay? So on the breakout, that's what I'm gonna probably end up doing. I'm gonna wait for a possible breakout and add more onto strength. So when it hits maybe the $21 range, or as soon as it breaks out of this pattern where we're getting volume picking up, that's exactly where I'm gonna be extremely interested in it. But right now, as it stands, there's not too much movement right now, right? There's no movement at all. So I'm gonna probably target like around the 20s. That's a little bit too optimistic, I'd say. I'm probably gonna shoot for like the $27 range. I'll probably assume it might get a little bit lower than here. I don't think I drew this in here accurately as well. I'm definitely gonna target around $27, $28, but definitely below this point right here. I'll probably end up targeting, I'm guessing right here. These positions over here. That's a very relevant area to be targeting, in my opinion, right? Right there, $26, $27. And then if we actually targeted, say, you know, even $26 minimum right here, set your stop loss slightly below here, like say to $20.50 or something like that upon breakout, then we easily see, guys, that there's a high chance for us to gain over 22% on this trade, right? So if you're playing a decent sized position, this is definitely one of those coins that can yield some very nice returns sometime soon, hopefully. So I just thought I'd bring this up. I just thought I'd, you know, give you guys some information on what I'm seeing as well. So what I do, once again, is I hunt for setups, guys. I constantly hunt for setups. I add it to my little funnel system. I track it on my Excels as well. I've got a lot of coins right now that I'm tracking on my Excel. I've got like 20, 30 coins lined, not 20, 30 coins, 20, 30 possible setups over maybe 7, 8 different coins that I could be playing very soon. So hopefully this one's going to be one that comes to fruition as well, guys. Anyways, I have this also on steemit. If you guys like these posts of mine, you guys are welcome to upvote it on steemit, which I would really appreciate. Make sure you also like, subscribe, and share the material as well. And if you guys absolutely love the material and the content that I'm producing, you're welcome to donate to the cryptocurrency piggy bank, but don't ever feel obligated. Other than that, have yourselves a great day, and I'll keep you guys updated with Ethereum Classic over the next few days. Bye now. Thanks for watching.